Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2 from the ESL Open Cup Korea. A team kill. A Zerg versus Zerg. Everyone's favorite matchup. Jimmy, come on. How many times? We're professionals now. Anyways, speaking of professionals. In the top right from Team Newbie. From Canada, one of the best Zerg Hex players in the world, trying her hand at multiplayer. It is Scarlett. And in the bottom left, on the same team, making it this far, probably not as well known, at least in the circles of people outside of Korea. But it is Rex. Honestly, I was about to be like, a top tier Zerg. Well, he got this far to face Scarlett in the final rounds of the ESL Open Cup, but I don't know anything about Rex. I've seen his name in a few brackets. I haven't really seen very many games, if any, recently. I got nothing. But I have seen Zerg versus Zerg. And I know a lot of people, like, mirror matchups miss me with that. Like, I've seen enough Raynor versus Serral for several lifetimes. But whenever Serral isn't involved, no offense, Serral, ZVZ gets pretty wild. It's not quite the explosive destruction clusterfuck that Protoss versus Protoss is. It's not the chess boxing match that Terran versus Terran is, but it is more like the knife fight in a phone booth. But the phone booth, but everybody like the phone booth is just covered with lube. Okay, so everybody's slipping around. It's getting weird, and also very stabby. Don't forget the stabby. There's no phone in the phone booth because what is this, 1994? But imagine, you know Doctor Who, right? There's a phone booth in that one, but not like that phone. Unrelated. Meanwhile, a baneling nest from Rex. Scarlett not opting for it yet. It's actually, it looks like, okay, Scarlett opts for the baneling nest. I'm not sure what she saw, or if she just forgot it. But her baneling nest is a little bit later. She had the gas. We'll have to see. Like, a lot of the times, a lot of lower level players are like, I can't get past Ling Bane. I don't know. Ling Bane's done. Like, you lose 14, 20, 28 Zerglings and game over. A lot of the times at the higher levels, players won't really commit very much to Ling Bane. We might have the skirmishes back and forth, and Rex is definitely going for a little bit here. But since both players understand the other one's probably going to be pretty competent at micro, and nobody's going to be making huge mistakes with banelings, because at this level they simply don't, a lot of the times we do end up at the next phase attack, where that's usually roaches, but sometimes we see mutas. Third hatchery. Here comes Rex. Looks like Scarlett didn't really realize this was going to be here. She had a few safety banes. The queens will come out and deal with this. Nobody told me there'd be Zerglings. It's okay, Brenda. There's only like 12 Zerglings behind this. Rex is droning hard. This was keeping Scarlett honest. If she literally didn't make those extra queens or didn't make any banelings, there's a small chance of losing the third hatch. And now you got some map control if you have the Zergling lead anyways. But Rex is down in drones. He's behind in upgrades. Like, I can't imagine he expected this to do real damage. Like, but the fact he didn't have any sort of other, like a transition ready, is kind of surprising. Ooh. Rex losing another few Zerglings. Scarlett's already got some roaches on the way. Rex is trying to make what he's got work here, and I guess a few Zerglings, and maybe a drone or two, but look at the... Never mind. Don't look at any... Close your eyes. Now open them and see that Scarlett does have a slight supply lead, a few more workers, but It's not just important that she has more workers, it's she's had more workers for longer. Even if Rex catches up, building those Zerglings while Scarlet had 8 more workers, there's been that income paying off. So Scarlet's going to go for the push. Now a key point as well. We see in these phone booth situations, nobody really feels like they have the economy. Oh, what a save there on that Ravager. Pops out with full HP despite the Ravager cocoon and the Roach itself being so low. Ravagers are going for the push. Nobody has a lair. Nobody's waiting that amount of time. We're already just going at it. Slipping around. Stop it. Stop it. Plus 1 attack, though, a big damage boost for Scarlet. Especially in that Roach-on-Roach action. Oh, a counterattack. Catches. Oh!
What a save!
The Queen barely lives with a few drones coming in. Now Scarlet's taking this pretty seriously. She's unhappy with the amount of damage Rex has done. There's 42 drones to 56. It's not like Scarlet couldn't afford to lose a few drones there. But so far, it's been a very solid game. Rex will actually get a lair a little bit quicker. Are you serious? She just killed a creep tumor. I don't know if she saw it spreading or she just took a guess, but she just is killing cloaked creep tumors with corrosive bile. And that was like 3 in the same spot. That was with purpose. But this Zergling counterattack is pretty good. Scarlet is actually pulling all the way off. And if Rex kills the hatch along with these drones, then okay, now we're having a conversation. The problem here for Rex, well, he has a few more roaches. It doesn't make up for the +1 attack difference. The Ravagers, and just even a few Queens and Zerglings at home. The Banelings are trying to slip in. If Scarlet doesn't make a mistake, she should have more than enough on paper here to deal with this. But we will see the Banelings tried to find an opportunity. Ravagers, oh, a bunch of Banes out of Rex as well. Trying to find an opportunity. Well, the Banelings connecting maybe will do enough, but it's already thinning out here. He's building up more Zerglings behind. There has been in the past like a Roach into Muta style, like Mutaling Bane, or just Roach Bane. Dark was using that for a while. Instead of having a late game that consists of, this isn't as popular since Lurkers have become more figured out, especially nowadays with their Hive Tech upgrades. But before Lurkers got those Hive Tech upgrades, there was a legitimate opportunity to just throw 50 Banelings into the mix, and then suddenly, yeah, you might have a few less Roaches, but 50 Banelings! That might be what we're doing here. It doesn't look like it, though, because the Spire is on the way. Rex has somehow kept Scarlet at bay for long enough in order to get that Spire mostly done. And Scarlet, I feel, is playing a little overly defensive now. She hasn't gotten an Overseer onto the other side of the map. And Spire, obviously, the relevant information here. If she had gotten an Overseer in a timely manner, like right as her lair finished, then Rex would have been dead by now. Because there's no way you can go for Spire with less drones and worse upgrades and still defend an outright attack. What Rex has done is kind of convinced Scarlet that his economy and tech are too low. Oh, there's the Overseer. But is it too late? Because right now, though Scarlet scouted this Spire, right? Saw it was done. Saw that time. But it's already done. If you see it when it's a third of the way, halfway done, all right, let's go. But I think a missed opportunity from Scarlet, and now Rex is still in it, 100%. If you get those mutas out before your opponent has any meaningful anti-air, there's a lot of opportunity here. So Rex has done a good job of that. Scarlet is going to try to get more mutas than someone who is already making mutas. This is a rich Vespene base, and if that is allowed to mine for more than a few seconds, then suddenly, yeah, there might be enough gas. I'm not a mathematician, though, but if one person is mining approximately the same amount or less than another person, and that person started making mutas earlier, it feels like the person who started making mutas will have more mutas. But we don't live life in a vacuum or in a math book story problem. No, this is a very real problem for Rex and Scarlet, having 4 bases, and despite losing 10 drones, still being maxed out. In fact, Scarlet needs to get rid of some of these units. You got to get some of those roaches out of there. They're taking up your supply. Well, the queen's adding some damage here. The Muta count is 17 for Rex to 13 for Scarlet. Rex is going for +1 Carapace, which in Muta on Muta action is very good because the Muta bounce 3 times and the armor affects each of them, whereas attack only affects 2. There's more math. Just believe me, Muta versus Muta, Carapace is better. If it's almost anything else, usually either you focus on the attack or you're transitioning out into a ground army. Well, Scarlet has still been mining off this, but Rex has done a good job with the Mutas. Scarlet, with that lack of scouting for several minutes, has now it's anybody's game. It still feels like Scarlet has the initiative. She's had more economy for long. She's been maxed out, but Rex is now maxed out. He's got a few more drones. Drones were picked off by the Mutalisks. Rex is going to be losing. Oh, nope. Now the Mutaballs have to go back and forth and chase each other down. Another thing, well, Scarlet's getting all the other flavors of tech here, as well as having a little more gas income. Let's look at that gas income. You can see it in the bottom center. The counter next to the minerals and gas is their income per minute, by the way, in case that wasn't obvious or known before. So Scarlet's going to have at least a couple more gas gathers up, and a big Zergling run by into the natural. Drones exposed, and Scarlet doesn't have many to burn. She's trying to go for a whole bunch of different tech paths, but is going to come up short if she doesn't have the economy to actually get to the end of the line. 30 drones. 30 drones. That is critical damage. It's a disaster for Scarlet. 31 drones. She's trying to go every direction. You cannot afford infestors and burrow roaches and hive and upgrades and and still building mutas with 30 drones. But the army is still there. There are some fungals. One infestor goes down immediately. The second infestor, oh, what a burrow! What a burrow, and pops up underneath! Decent fungal, but is there enough in the air? Corrosive biles actually connect. There's more mutas for Rex. Scarlet is starting to fall. 15, 28 to 13 mutas, and they have better upgrades as well. The Corruptor's starting to even things out. What are the Roaches and Ravagers doing? Their Zerglings on the third base. More drones gonna go down. Spore Crawler's pretty solid. Corruptor's holding the line, but Rex is really starting to break this open right now. Rex has been untouched economically, while Scarlet has been very, very touched, and not in one of those good ways, which is a weird way to say it. But Rex, I don't know what was like the part of the game that felt, well, Scarlet had the +1, the Roaches, better economy, but Rex feigned strength until he actually had it. I'm sure Sun Tzu would have something to say about that, but very simply, Scarlet had a window of about 2 minutes to attack, where if she had figured that out, then more than likely just walks over and wins. But you can't, like, they don't have map hacks. We can sit here typing on our keyboards, or for some reason the weird people who type out comments or Twitch chat on their phones. I mean, respect. Also, you know, you can subscribe on those things wherever you are as well. Just saying. But also, but they cannot see the production tab. They cannot see how many workers exactly their opponent has. They cannot see what the tech tree is looking like right now. Rex took a gamble. Rex took a gamble on getting the Spire immediately after the lair. He's gonna gamble again. I'm not showing you it. Jimmy. He's gambling again. But what do I mean? He's 12. What a guy. What? Well. Okay, well, let's put the points on the board. So, yeah, we've had a... Oh. The phone booth just got a little smaller. As Scarlet is going for a 12-11, which is gas and then pool, whereas Rex is going for a 12 pool. And I feel like I should know. It feels like Scarlet just wins, because she's going to have Zerglings at a similar timing, but also speed. She'll have a comparable amount of Zerglings with speed, whereas Rex is going to try to expand, and he's not going to have speed. But the plot thickens. As Rex has... Rex deliberately avoids overlords with his drones and his Zerglings, giving a very real possibility that Scarlet will be left in her base without really any Zerglings. And you might be like, well, but Rex will have buildings on the other side of the map because he's gonna build spine crawlers, so a base trade really isn't in the works. Scarlet has to come home. Scarlet, I think, canceled the Bane nest, stops mining gas. She was planning on a Ling Bane all-in, but Rex is already here. A Queen is finishing, even one spine going. Now, you can't even really afford to cancel here. You barely got any minerals to work with. Obviously, he's got, what, 2 drones at home mining? Yep, two old drones. But Scarlet has a Queen. She also has drones. Yeah, that's kind of okay. For a second, I was thinking that maybe math doesn't exist. But when you have the same amount of drones, and you also, and you also have a comparable amount of Zerglings, then, yeah, okay. Never mind, moving on. I don't know what I expected would happen. But that is gambling, especially when you dodge the OVs like that. That is, you go hatch first, there's a very good chance you lose. Because even if you go hatch first and they go straight across, while the attack hits quicker, they have time to prepare. That's usually in the form of banking larva. That means you're not building that extra drone or 2 or extra overlord, because you need that for Zerglings as soon as your pool finishes. Oh my god. But if your opponent does an even more all-in build than you, who is somehow Scarlet's build is... Okay, well, he did pull the drones. I don't know. The thing is, 2 builds. One person had a bigger knife. That analogy doesn't even really work. A better knife? We're really stretching this. Anyways, we're back to sanity. I don't know if it was the map or just the situation, but well, Nightshade. It's the cheese map. I don't feel like it's a map that people usually cheese on, but whatever. They might practice it. Who knows? They're both on the same team. This is a team kill match, which is unfortunate. Well, in team kill matches at this level, you've got two parts of it. Part 1 is, oh no, it's a team kill match. That sucks. But part 2 is you have 2 high-level players that made it this far, so nice job on that. So it's not a total loss. Eternal Empire, I was like, am I done? Is that thought process ended? And it was. And I moved on. But it was such an abrupt change of thought, it struck me as weird. So now we're back here. Stop commentating your commentary, you nerd. To the production tab. Speed for both sides. Third hatchery on the way, Scarlet. And Scarlet adding on the third hatch as well. Just building 1 or 2 extra drones. It's going to be speed. We'll probably see a bandling nest. Scarlet has been mining more gas, it looks like, but only marginally. I think Rex had 2 out of 3 in gas. Scarlet had... Whoa! Brenda! What, Karen? We said I would be first this time. You could be first on the way back. Okay, alright. I didn't believe you. Well, Scarlet was going to push away an Overlord, but Rex already has his Overlords well back. Especially because you can use the Watchtower to cover some of the area the Overlord usually would cover. Overlords aren't the most agile creatures. Any unit that can be outmaneuvered by a queen off creep, I don't think has any hope of being called an agile creature. But every Zerg knows or can scout where the Ovies are going to be. So it's part of a lot of builds to maybe hunt down them. Once again, just going back to game 1, Rex is going to be the aggressor. Scarlet with a handful more drones. But now, after building those lings, Rex is going to build an even larger round of drones, and so on and so forth, and etc., etc. No, actually, that's not how it works. Not etc., etc. From here, either one player will find a number they like, and then work on a next level of timing, whether it be roaches, like we saw in Scarlet in Game 1, or they try to be as greedy as possible while getting their tech up. So this game, Scarlet already, I didn't even notice, Scarlet just now finished the lair. The lair's already done. And she's building +1 melee attack. Ah, there it is. I was wondering, but why? Spire. Scarlet inspired by game 1. Definitely, like, it's very, oh, well, that was a Zergling. Rex just sent a Zergling in Cyril style. So Rex's lair is significantly quicker, but he's also getting +1 melee, which indicates... Are you going to do it, Rex? You've got 300 gas. It's kind of a now or never situation. What is he going to do with 300 gas and +1 melee attack? What is happening? What is this? Oh, what a play! What a play! Scar! Oh, sacrificing 2 drones for the queen. I mean, that probably could have been better, but... And the bait. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. A Nidus. But what's going into the Nidus? Is it a bunch of Banelings? Is it a Baneling Nidus? Is he gonna teleport a bunch of Banelings across the map? I don't know why he has 500 gas. That's my point. Like, what's the plan with that? The thing is, this Nidus is so late, the mutas are already gonna be out. Oh, well. I mean... I'm trying to see if something was scouted. It might have been the fact that the Nidus was right there, and then Scarlet also was right there. And... Oh, Roach... It was... Oh, roaches exist, and they're about to see the Nidus, and I don't want to live in this game anymore. That's what it was. Which is fair. Because those roaches were going to kill it before it finished, and there was no other strategy. So apparently, just build a spire. That easy. Well, that was a lot. It was something. If you enjoyed, well, smash that like button, or ring the bell, or subscribe, or find another creative way like Patreon to give me money. Leave a comment. Oh yeah, you can do that too. That's not exactly the same, but thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed ESL Open. Good luck and have fun.